Welcome to Africa Media, Africa's gateway to eye care. Join Dr. Daryl Glover and Obi Malopi for all things eye care in Africa. Greetings, esteemed colleagues. We are back for another episode. I am super excited because I've had nothing but rock star students come on and just share their journey, share their story. And today we have Faith that's along with us today. And I'm very excited to learn a little bit more about you, Faith. Now, before we get started and go too far into this conversation, I'd love to get to know, who am I talking to? Where are you from, Faith? And if you don't mind also sharing, how did you get into eye care?
Well, I am Faith. I am a student at Masinde Muliro University in Kenya. I am a fourth-year student, currently serving as the AFOS Vice President and also the student leader in our school organization. I came to learn. Okay, funny thing is, I'm putting on glasses, but that's not how I got interested in eye care. So,
Okay.
so when we were choosing like our campus courses, I was like, I want to do something medicine. And then my cutoff points didn't give me medicine and surgery. So I had to look for another alternative. And well, that's how I came up to see optometry in the lists. I didn't know what optometry was at the moment. I had not heard anything like optometry. Mostly in school, we were taught optician, ophthalmologist, not optometrist. And so I had to Google, find out, what's optometry about? And so I saw it's about eye care. And that's how I decided, okay, I had some struggles myself, like with the clinical care. Well, it was not satisfactory for me. So I decided, okay, let me just pick this. It's in the healthcare sector. I can offer services to people. I understand the challenges that people go through when it comes to eye care. So who better to serve than me? So that's how I got to eye care.
I love it. I love it. So let's get into your journey as a student, right? Because I know being an optometry student, I've heard earlier, it's like a roller coaster. There's ups and downs, but also a fun ride at the same time. So I'd love to learn a little bit about your journey as an optometry student so far. How has that been?
First, I would say like for my first years, I kind of just was in school, just studying optometry, not really reeling into optometry itself as a career. Lately, it's when I started feeling like I want to venture into more than just the books because, well, I am a student right now, but I won't be a student forever. I have to accept to take in optometry as my life now because I already chose to start it. So in my first years, I was just like normally a student, just going to class, going back to my room after classes, just that. But then I didn't actually lately. It's when I've come to realize there are branches in optometry. It's not just clinical care, After I joined AFOS and like getting to join the organizations outside classwork, you see.
Yeah.
So I joined AFOS, and then I decided to join like the student leadership. And then that's how I came to learn like there is more to optometry, not just classwork and clinical care.
Yeah. I like that. And I like that you're learning that early on in your career as a student, because sometimes as students, we just get locked into the book work, as you should be, because you got to understand and have the foundation to be able to grow. But the earlier that you can understand that, there's work to be done inside the exam lane, but also work outside of the exam lane, that changes your perspective of what optometry is all about. Now, you mentioned Air Force. I'm curious to know, how has Air Force made a difference in your journey as a student? Because we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary, or we are actually at the 1-year anniversary. So I want to celebrate this, but I want to know, how has that impact? How's that partnership? How's that relationship impacted you as a student?
Okay. First, as I explained earlier, like I was not so much into optometry outside classwork, but then it came with a feeling of it's like we're an island, you see, and yeah, you see, there are people ahead of me, like the ones who've graduated classes before me. There are others behind me, but still feels like an island. And I felt like I needed a community of optometrists, a place where you feel you belong. It's not just in your country, it's not just in your school, especially like for us. Uh, a bachelor's in optometry was being offered only in my school. And then in KMTC, we had a diploma. And then just lately, like 3 years ago, is when they started offering it in another university in Kaimusi. So I used to feel like it's an island. Yes, it's a profession. You see what people are doing in clinical optometry, but you still feel alone, you know.
Right.
Then I got to know about AFOS. My former school organization president is the one who introduced us to AFOS. And then I decided, let me join, see what we can do as optometry students. Probably there's more to learn out there. I can know what's happening in South Africa, what's happening in Nigeria. It's not just Kenya, you see.
Right.
You get a broader family you can interact with. And then I have been able to embrace myself, not only as an optometrist, but I decided to, actually, funny enough, I decided to venture into leadership in AFOS before I decided to do leadership in my school. So, yeah, I've been able to uh, accept and hold leadership in AFOS. I've been able to learn how other schools are doing their curriculum, you know. In my
Yeah.
school, we do 5 years. You get to know others are doing 6, others are doing 4. You understand why. I'm doing 3 semesters, others just doing 2 semesters. I'd be like, no, this is not fair, you know.
Well, the thing that I love that you stated, and this has actually been an ongoing theme that I've heard with all the conversations I've had so far, is the word community.
Yeah,
Community is huge. It starts with your local community, then it goes to your national community, and then it goes to the global community. And from
yeah,
all the students that I've had a conversation with, that is the piece that has really helped to elevate them personally and professionally within their careers of optometry. And I love it because there are strength in numbers. The more we can work together, the more we can push this profession forward. So I love
sure.
that you're preaching community, community, community. And all the students out there listening, this is important. You want to make sure that you truly shake hands and kiss babies and get to know everyone that's in your class, but don't let it stop there. Talk to the upperclassmen, talk to the younger students that are coming in. But most importantly, if you can volunteer, if you can attend conferences, if you can get out of your country, these things will change and help shape you to be a better optometrist because the more you surround yourself with this community, the more you'll learn and the more impactful you will be. Now,
Yeah.
I'm curious to know, I know Air Force has done a fantastic job with helping to elevate you and make you feel more comfortable in this community and not be on an island. But where do you see
Yeah.
Air Force going in the next 5 years? Because they've done so much now. I can't even imagine what's going to happen in the next 5 years, but I'm curious to know what your perspective is.
I really feel okay. This is not biased because like I'm in the Air Force leadership as well.
We can be a little biased. It's all good. I don't mind it. We're just talking the truth. That's all that is.
Okay, let me talk like a student who joined the Air Force and then became a leader in Air Force. So I really feel like Air Force is really going to impact optometry students. Like you know, it's not just the matters of advocacy. It's not just the matters of like, oh, we are optometry students in Africa. We should join together and just be optometry students in Africa. No, it's a platform where we're getting to learn. Like, let's say in the last event we had, the World Optometry Day, we had like speakers like Dr. Diane who were teaching us of the different roles we can play. We had the initiative Specs 2030 being explained to us. Like when those things happen and students get to feel like we're really being valued in the profession, we're just not juniors, but we're juniors who can make an impact, you see. I think efforts is really going to be embraced by students Africa-wide, and that way we're going to like make better optometrists, you know, through efforts and joining a community. And you see, like, well, let me be a motivational speaker, quote for quote. Yeah, okay. You know, they said like alone we can make a step, but together, alone you can go faster, but together we can go farther, you see. So I feel like it's a good initiative that already started. And in 5 years' time, I think people will have seen the impact of AFOS, you see. And students will have realized it's not just the how do you call them? The practicing optometrists that have a platform. It's not just them that can make an impact. We also have a role to play in eye care, in preventable blindness, in everything related to optometry and eye health uh, all together, you see. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
effort is gonna make strides, longer strides, you know?
Well, hey,
Yeah,
when you have leaders like yourself and the rest of your team, that's what it's all about. We have to
yeah,
have leaders, we have to have community, we have to have mentorship, we have to volunteer. And when you look at those core things, it helps to change the game in regards to what it looks like. I'm very
yeah.
thankful for Air Force. I wish when I was in school that I had an opportunity to be a part of something like that, but I didn't. But I think it's fantastic that we are able to, communicate with the future of optometry and provide a platform to give them what they need. Now, before we close out, I'm curious to know if you could leave a little bit of advice, some of your wonderful words of wisdom for all the students out there. If you could narrow that down in 30 seconds, what would it be? Because I want them to digest that and hold on to it for the rest of their careers. What would that advice be?
I'll say, like, as optometry students, let's embrace optometry. It's part of us. And by embracing optometry, that's the only way we can be able to make impact out there. Otherwise, we'll just be optometry students with no impact and a legacy to leave behind. And we'll just be crying, we don't have a platform, we don't have somewhere to be. But the first step is embracing optometry, and that way we can move forward. Yeah, that's
I
all I'll
love it.
say.
I love it. Thank you so much for those wonderful words of wisdom. Thank you so much for all the work that you have done. Continue to be, a strong force in your community in eye care in Kenya, but continue to build that global brand. It's future optometrists like you that have changed the game and will continue to help shape the future. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's your favorite optometrist, Dr. Daryl Glover. Make sure you tap into Africa Media, where you get all the great information about all the incredible things that's taking place in Africa and eye care. Have a great one. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to Africa Media. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page and follow us on all platforms of social media.